Alright, so welcome back to another video. This is event number 4 of the BeamNG Monster Jam Tour, the first one I've ever hosted, whatever you want to say. Now, this is a big event because this is the last event before the finale World Finals event, where there's going to be a skills competition and freestyle competition, so you could get potentially 24 points there. So, if some drivers who are behind or close to being in the lead can get good points here, they have a higher chance of winning at the World Finals. But so far, Uva Digger has been holding on to the lead for all 3 past events, and he's not going to let go tonight either. We'll just have to see if any drivers will be able to claim the lead, and if any drivers will be able to make their comeback when the World Finals finale event comes around. That will be happening next Wednesday, but for now, this is the last event of the base points season, and this is Monster Jam. Well, coming up first in Freestyle, it is the Kraken monster truck. He's had such an unfortunate season. With only about, I think, 11 points right now, because he's getting last place or second to last place is really unfortunate. Actually, maybe it's only 9 points. Might only be 9, I'm not sure. And here we go. That will kick off the run for Kraken. No, it's not 9 points. I mean, he got last in every event. I know that's not true. But yeah, it's not going to look that way. Great air is kicking off the run. Look out, getting way sideways, bounces like crazy, and gets him back. By the way, I forgot to mention that we are in Tampa, Florida. Here he goes. Full speed, sends it over the racing lane and sets it back down perfectly. You know that backflip ramp is going to be seething tonight. There we go. Oh, look out. Back tires hit that ramp and he gets a stoppie. And he tries to go for another one, but this track is raining a little bit, so it's not as muddy as Atlanta, but it's definitely still a little sloppy, so the drivers are going to have to get used to that. Here he goes, launches it off the jammer. So far, I'm thinking this is his best run yet. Really good so far. And it looks like Kraken is now lining up for the backflip. There he goes, lands it nicely. Now you just gotta go and tear it down. Here he goes. Big air. Almost clears the pod. And gets a little wheelie off the camera, like a sky wheelie kind of thing. Now getting it turned back around. Right, launch it right there as well. And lands and flips out. Bounces forward like crazy. Here goes the Kraken. Launches it up the center zone. Watch out for that ramp. Wow. Lands with his front tires really hard and takes it over the right side stuff. And the truck doesn't even maybe a broken sway bar or broken suspension means the run is done. But it looks like the truck is still running. So it's not broken suspension. It's great air over the racing lane and over the cars. Yeah, that truck is definitely leaning weird, but we're gonna go for 1 or 2 final hits. Sends it! Look out! He's gonna go over! Oh, he's not going to be able to get it back. A crazy rollover for the Kraken monster truck. That was definitely not how the night was planned to end for Kraken. As you can see, he broke a tie rod right there. Yep, the officials really want you to know that. There's got to be a broken sway bar or, I don't know, limit strap or suspension something. Oh no. The tire is stuck on the stands, guys. This is horrible news. He's got to sit in the truck upside down in the seat. It's like the worst feeling ever, okay? Come on now. Don't give up on Kraken. There we go. They're going to get it rolled back over. It was a great run, but since that final big rollover was not saved or kept on all fours, I'm not too sure. Wow, they are really struggling. I'm not too sure how well the scores will turn out, but it's still a pretty good run. Definitely the best run for Kraken yet. Coming up next is the great monster truck. Someone else has really tried their hardest. They just had unfortunate rollovers and uncontrollable events occur. Especially at the last event in Florida. So here goes the race monster truck, ready to throw it down. Wow, lining up on the side of the pod. That was not the place I was expecting the first hit to be. In reverse, getting ready for a big jump. Getting ready. And here we go. There it is. Now it's accelerating. Full speed and big air sends it over the pod and lands square. Which could be actually a little bit worse. You want to land a tiny bit sideways, not side slapping, but not landing perfectly. Landing perfectly and side slapping are the two worst things. Right? Probably heard you talking about this. Landing slightly sideways or leaned a little bit is the best way to land. There we go, some more big air for Rage. That case is different because it's like they jumped and then they landed on a surface that they were driving on. They didn't bounce. Like if you land a jump and then there's no landing surface, you bounce really high. That's not a nice landing. There we go. Ooh, it side slapped the rear right a little bit, but the truck is still alright. Wow, it's a backflip out of nowhere and lands it perfectly. Going into reverse, and gonna go full speed to the triple. Big air, lands it on the pod. Oh, look out, kicks it forward and keeps it going. The next two I want to do like retired trucks or something like that. That would be cool. Oh, goes for a jump and breaks a tire rod. Here he goes, jumping on this jammer, rides a bicycle around that jump. That was interesting. Not gonna get a turn back around here. Full speed over to the gray side, launches it, hits it sideways again, which hurts the tire rod even more. Look out! Oh, wow! There goes the back tire, even more broken tire rod. It's gotta get broken forming again or somewhere. I don't even know if it's controlling this enough to do a donut. That's gonna do it for Rage. Absolutely demolished the truck. There's a sway bar flying around in the back with a split limit strap back there. Absolutely demolished the truck. Again, by far the best freestyle for Rage. These are the kind of things that these two guys are going to need to do if they want to get back at the World Finals event. Now, with how many points they had, I don't think it's really possible to complete catch-up, especially with how good I'm expecting your later ones to do that already have the lead to begin with. But still a pretty good run, and that will get Rage some pretty good points. Same thing with Kraken. Kraken got a good run in as well. Coming up next, and having to beat two absolutely wild runs to have any chance here, is a Jester monster truck. Now that Rage freestyle was wild, so we're gonna have to see what Jester can do, but it looks like he's lining up with some big air to kick off the run. Not with some big air, for some big air, I should say. Wow, rams into the back of the wall. Luckily it does not get caught in the wall. Gonna go full speed and sends it off that ramp, crosses the finish line, gets it on a one-tire wheelie. What a move for the Jester. Now gonna go full speed onto the sideways ramp right there. Look out, gets it on a bicycle, safe, and he gets it back. Getting it turned back around. The jammer gets sideways a little bit, saves it though. Oh, there we go. Sidewalls again. And he sets it back down. What a move for the Jester. We have to get it turned back around and continue. Great stuff here. There we go, some more big air. And a stoppy moonwalk combo. And another little wheelie off the kind of sloped jammer. There we go, launches it off the racing lane. And lands it perfectly square, which it's not really the best way to land. It does hurt a little bit. There we go. Launches off the center jump, it gets a little bit sideways. Look out, the rear tire is gonna bump that ramp. He goes over, and he sets it back down off of a crazy front flip. What a move for the Jester. Now he's gonna launch it through the air. Lands it perfectly, and now it's just perfectly set up for a backflip. Goes for the backflip, gets really sideways, and will not land it. That will, oh wait, going for a save. Oh, yep, will not land it. Unfortunately, that will hurt the score, but we did still see that crazy front flip save move. So I would still assume Jester would go home with some bigger scores. But it's really just going to come down to what the rest of the competition is. Because so far, every single run has been super good. So especially making the leaderboards for this one, I think I'm going to find hard to do. Because we're just seeing great run after great run after great run. And we're still only 3 runs in. That's the craziest part. We have 3 awesome runs and we're 3 runs in. Coming up next, it is the Earthshaker monster truck. Someone who was really struggling towards the start of the season. And then the last event happened, and Earthshaker blasted up the chart, going from mere 6 points up to 16 points. No, 17 points. That's like an 11-point boost, which Gravedigger and Uva Digger have been used to, but definitely not. Earthshaker was lower on the charts. Starts it off with some huge air off of the jammer. Now it's gonna get it turned back around. Launches it off the center jump. Lands it perfectly. Actually hits that bump a little bit. Does hurt a little bit. Whoa! Watch out on the sidewalls and saves it. Earthshaker is just ready to make a comeback out here. Wheelies it a little bit across the pod. Now getting it turned back around. Big air, kind of bigger actually. There we go. Sends it off that jammer to slopey side. I don't know why these jammers have slopey sides. They're supposed to both be steep. Well, I think the main jammer is both steep sides, and then the other 2 have slopey sides. Nope, that's definitely a slopey side. Slopey side. Great run going on for Earthshaker right now. Already lining up for the backflip ramp. Ooh, lands on the back really hard, but gets it back together into a moonwalk for the Earthshaker monster truck. Now it's going to accelerate. Sends it off of the triple. Look how it side slaps it really hard, just slamming into that other jump that I believe kicked off this run, or that might have actually been Jester's run. No, this run started at the camera. There we go. Launches off of the racing lane. And a big sky wheelie over that car jump. Now it's going to have to get it back around and find a big way to end off the run, and then maybe Earthshaker can continue to get higher up on the charts. Rides it on a bicycle. I've never seen a bicycle get started that way, but it did. Sends it off of the big jump. That's actually the biggest jump out here on the field, and I think it's the biggest jump used this year. Earthshaker's going over and saves it on 1 tire. That is exactly what you're going to want to do. And it looks like that's going to do it for the Earthshaker with some issues here. I'm not sure if he's stuck to the wall like some of the other ones, or if there's a suspension issue, but that truck is leaning worse than I have pretty much ever seen. Look at how much that truck is absolutely jammed into the ground right now. Something is definitely not going right. Yep, something is definitely wrong here for Earthshaker. That's not how you want to end the night, but a great run nonetheless. Coming up next is the Bakugan Dragonoid. This time it is the Aqua Edition body. So let's see what Bakugan Dragonoid, basically Pokemon water type version of Bakugan Dragonoid, can do out here tonight. Listen in reverse. Don't get too close to the wall, or you'll get stuck to it. That's one thing we've learned tonight. Here he goes, full speed. Launches it off of the jammer and lands it square. Great way to do that. Big sky wheelie. Now, unfortunately, at the last event, after being relatively consistent, Bakugan Dragonoid went over way early and got last place. Bakugan Dragonoid's out here with us, searching for redemption tonight. Lands it hard on the 8-pack ramp and gets it on a sidewall save with a broken forelink now. Actually, yeah, the forelink is barely attached, or it's attached in one spot. Driving on a broken truck, as I've talked about, is one of the best things you can do. It benefits you like crazy. Gonna get it turned back around now. Great run going on for Bakugan Dragonoid though. Here he goes, launches it off the jammer and lands it square again. Now gonna get it turned back around here, lining up for the backflip. Goes sideways a little bit, but lands the backflip nice and smooth. You can see the front end starting to come loose a little bit. Gonna have to somehow hold it together for the last 30 seconds or so that he has to run. Oh my! Getting crossed up crazy and rips the entire front end off of the truck. I mean, we're talking like 30 seconds left of the run, and then he ends as soon as I say that. That is absolutely crazy. Just like Bakugan Dragonoid had done twice in 2019 with the most memorable at the World Finals 20. And just Bakugan Dragonoid really good at just ripping the front end off of the truck, I guess. That is not how the run was meant to be ended, but it was a great run. Saves, the big air that turned into the broken four-link bar, the landed backflip and everything. This run is definitely chopping out with some big scores tonight. Coming up next, it is the Blue Thunder Monster Truck entering the track right now and getting ready to absolutely throw it down. Here we go, we see it reaching big speeds all around the track driving out here. Here goes Blue Thunder, ready to kick off the run with some big air off the center jump. And goes on the slopey side of the jammer. I can't get used to saying the slopey side. Gonna get it turned back around now. Launches it off of that big ramp. Gets a wheelie. And is gonna go head over heels into front flip. Gets it back and saves it. Now just keep it going here for the Blue Thunder. Launches it over the pod now. Lands it on the back really hard. Gets the save. Blue Thunder is coming out here strong now. Just needs to get a backflip in there. And this run will be getting some big scores. There we go. Big speed. And a sky wheelie. Getting it turned back around. Going to the backflip ramp. Over rotates it a little bit, and that is not what Blue Thunder was looking for. Such a good shot at winning freestyle after that front flip move, but just like Jester goes over shortly after when he tried to attempt that backflip. And even with the crazy wow moment, there's wow moments in all the other runs, so if he didn't land a backflip, that's only one wow moment for him, and this is simply not enough for compared to the other runs that we have seen so far tonight, especially. So a rough night for Blue Thunder. Coming up next, someone who came back big time at the last event with a crazy save off the backflip ramp. It is Max D. So here he goes, looking to kick off the run strong. There we go, getting the fans ready on both sides of the track. Now gonna get it turned back around and ready to hit the first jump of the run. That was like kicking off of the back. That's not very great. There we go. Starts off the run with some big air up the triple ramp. Actually kind of slow somehow. I don't know how that happened. We've definitely seen bigger air over there tonight. Going full speed to the slopey side of the jammer and launches it through the air. Really well. I know. Okay. Here he goes, full speed, sends it off the triple jump again. Barely avoids hitting the big jump. And gets like a crazy like swerve around it. I don't even know what to call that. Getting ready for some cross-threading now, it looks like. Great move for Max D. Gets it on the front end for a momentum moonwalk. Great move for the Max D. Drives it in reverse and gets a little tiny bit of a wheelie after reversing into the ramp. Now Max D, it looks like heading over to the backflip ramp. Gets the backflip, lands it square. Gets a little tiny moonwalk off of it. And it's gonna accelerate some big air off that jump. Whoa! Watch out! Going for the save! Cannot get the save. That truck just flew through the air and ends up upside down. A great wow moment, but I really don't see that run placing high at all, just because of the fact that backflips, we've seen one in every single run so far tonight, with all but 2 landed, and not really a different wow factor in the run, just some air. So Max D probably going home with only 3 points tonight, which is unfortunate, but just have to do a little bit better. That was just bad luck, though. Well, bad luck for Max D. And BeamNG is now out here, who had a really good season tour going, but then in the last couple events really lost it. After he got second place in the first event, the last two events just did not give him the same results as he needed. Here he goes, full speed over the car jump, and he's gonna land it. Gets a bit sideways. Honestly though, some of these last places are not because of the drivers. There's just stuff completely out of their control, like unlucky crashes. Big air off the cross thread for BeamNG. It's exactly what you're gonna want to see. Now gonna launch it over the car jump, land it on the pod, get a bit bumpy, look out, hits another ramp, it's a little crooked and gets it back, keeps it going on all fours nicely, launches it off the racing lane, half on the jammer actually, the slopey side of the jammer should I mention. BeamNG not going for backflip yet, as I would figure, because we're not even halfway in. There we go, well, if he fills the time. There we go, launching it right now. I think that's the first time the back side of that big jump has been hit this entire fight, somehow. No idea how that's possible. There we go, launches it again, off the back side of the racing lane. And he is now lined up for the backflip ramp. Goes for it, lands it a little crooked, but sometimes that's exactly what you want, so it's not perfect down, those are painful. There we go, launches it off the triple jump. Look out, it goes right into the side of the big jump. Now gonna get it turned back around, and launches it off of the jammer, watch out. Gets it down nicely for the BeamNG monster truck. Now I'm gonna launch it off of the triple jump again. Watch out! Getting way sideways! Get it back! BeamNG! That is exactly what BeamNG has been needing to do at these last events. Launches it again, right by the fans. BeamNG getting a good night after so many absent, high scores, I guess. BeamNG is finally getting another good run. Watch out! Bumping the side of the big jump, and that will send him over onto the lid of the BeamNG truck, but I don't think that even matters because BeamNG Drive just got such a good run in. We're talking the backflip, the saves, the barrel roll, the crash at the end, everything about that run just so good for the BeamNG Drive monster truck. BeamNG finally getting some of the scores that we needed. I guess the officials want to get that hood out of the way. What a good night for the BeamNG monster truck, and that will definitely get some well-needed points back. Coming up next, a driver who really struggled in the first event, and then the two events following really brought it back. It's the Avenger. Launches it off the pod and lands really hard on the triple jump, but somehow the truck is perfectly timed, unless there's a sway bar damage I can't see. But if there's nothing wrong with the sway bars, then the truck is completely fine here. Here he goes, full speed, launches it off the pod again, this time lands square on the cars. Gets it back again. This truck is just being torn to pieces right now. Launches it, lands it square on the 8-pack ramp, breaks the 4-link bar, and manages to keep it going just like what Bakugan did, except Bakugan did it on the opposite side of the track. Now Avengers is going to need to go and tear it down. Launches it off of the jammer again. Lands it perfectly. There goes the hood. We very rarely ever see body damage to the CRC truck. There we go. Big air again for Avenger. Of course, unless they roll over. Both of the limit straps on the front are also just doing whatever they want right now. It looks like another break. It looks like a tire rod this time. Rides it on the sidewalk. Gets a save. What a move for the Avenger monster truck. Get it turned back around. Lining up for the 8-pack backflip. There was no way an 8-pack backflip was about to be hit with a bunch of broken limit straps, a broken tire rod, and a broken 4-link bar. Goes for it, and he's gonna land it. This has gotta be our winning run. It looks like there might be another broken 4-link bar. There is indeed. lands it really hard on the rear end. And he's still going really strong. Here he goes. And gonna send it off the backside of that. Wow, somehow keeping it together here. Turning it back around. Gets it sideways. Get a save. And that front end just got destroyed more than it already was. That... I mean, I've said it a billion times. But that has got to be the best run of this tour so far. I think it was the last Avenger run that I said that about. No, it couldn't have been because Avenger didn't win last time. But come on now, that is the best run of the tour by far. I mean, that sidewall, the 8-pack mini flip, and the just destroyed truck that he was driving on, all like with the broken forelinks and stuff. It was absolutely wild, and that's got to be your winning run by Avenger, surely. Coming up next, and somehow having to compete with that crazy run by Avenger is Son of a Digger, and starts it off with some big air off of the pod. That's exactly what you're going to want to do here. Now getting it turned back around, launches it off the triple jump. Look out for the bridge. Gets a kind of crazy wheelies, or moonwalk saves into a ramp, I guess you could call it. Gonna get it turned back around, launches it off of the big jump. Well, what's going on here? Bicycle attempt off the backflip. Okay then. Sure, why not? Now we're gonna get it turned back around. Huge air across the whole track. Takes it straight into the jammer and gets a wheelie. What a move for the Son of a Digger. Just the truck is bouncing all over the place right now. Now we're gonna get it turned back around. Goes for a backflip. Lands it. Tries to moonwalk a little bit, but getting a little bit close to the wall. And these walls are sticky or something. I have no idea. There we go. Launches it. Lands sideways a little bit. Hits the jammer and gets forward a little bit and keeps it going on all 4 tires. Sends it off of the big jump, actually. Not really sends it, just got a really weird angle. Tried to send it, that's for sure. Now I'm gonna get it turned back around. Going over the car jump. Lands it on the wheelie, watch out. Hits the jammer, sidewall, save it onto the 1-tire spin. I love seeing those 1-tire spins at the end of sidewalls. They just add a lot more. I believe it's called breakdancing officially though. I've never called it that, but I think that's what it's called. There we go. Wheelies it into a crab walk, moonwalk. That is exactly what you're going to do. Going into a reverse move. Oh, save it. What a save for the Son of a Digger. This run is just throwing so many curveballs. It's absolutely wild runs all the time. Launches it off of that racing lane. Goes over. Barrel roll. Saves it. And that is going to do it for the Son of a Digger powered by Hoonigan monster truck. That is one of the best runs. Again, I keep saying that. I think it's as good as Avengers run. Despite all the rollovers and stuff, Avenger just had a run I don't think I'll ever see beaten. But that is definitely top 3 runs of this tour so far. Absolutely incredible run by the Son of a Digger monster truck powered by Hoonigan. Just better and better. Coming up next, it is the Megalodon monster truck. Here he goes. Now gonna get it turned back around, accelerating and gonna go to the jammer. Launches it off of the jammer and lands it perfectly. Actually, a tiny bit sideways, but still pretty good landing. Full speed, launches it off of the triple ramp. And he's going to continue to skip more air. Now I have to get it turned back around. He's going full speed. After turning to the pod, launches it off of the pod. And gets a huge slap wheelie. There goes the tail. It's not a proper Megalodon run in this tour if the tail is still on the truck by the end of the run, honestly. There we go, well, the tail fin, I guess. Another crazy save there for the Megalodon monster, but realistically, a whole shark is just a tail, but then there's a fin on the back of the tail. Here we go, gonna launch it again. Yeah, all like, sharks and whales and dolphins, they're all just tails with tail fins on the back and faces. You know, just tails. Here we have some Sharknado donuts now. Gonna go full speed, launches it on a sky wheelie over the big jump and sets it back down. Now, gonna go full speed, launches it off of the jammer and lands it square. Here we go. Oh, getting sideways on the save. This is already turning out to be a great run for Megalodon. Lining up for the backflip now. Goes for the backflip, over-rotates a little bit, lands it, and gets a moonwalk. Not as good as the moonwalk was on from, was it like an Earthshaker, I think? There we go! Huge error from Megalodon. The front tire hits that ramp, and somehow the truck is still fine. Now he's gonna go full speed, launches it a little sideways off of the 8-pack jump. Now he's gonna get sideways, riding it on the sidewalls. Save it! A save for the Megalodon! This is such a good run! I'm gonna park it right there, so that is going to do it for the Megalodon monster truck. Just what a run all around. Incredible! That was one of the best runs of this tour. Every run in this video, I've pretty much said that about. This is such a packed show. Obviously, this is the last show before the World Finals. So if you're not doing good and you have to make a comeback, or if you're near the top and just need to continue to go towards the top, this is really the show for you to make your comeback. And I know there are a lot of drivers out here who are working to get that done and just throwing it down at every show to try and get the win. Well, we've gone through all 11 other trucks. It's time for your last freestyle. This is the Grave Digger 40th anniversary version. And here he goes, getting ready to start off the run with something big. Flying around the track right now. Some big speed from Grave Digger. Now we're going to get it turned around and getting ready for the first hit of the run, launches it and finds somehow a perfect sweet spot where there's no ramps that he could have landed on. I don't know how that happened. Now we're going to get it turned back around here and launches it off of that jump. Again, look out. Hits a little crooked and gets it back. Honestly, most of the tracks they've run this year, it's basically impossible to jump without landing on another ramp. It's kind of funny. Whoa! Goes on the big jump and gets it way sideways, but holds it all together somehow. Now I'm going to get it turned back around. Launches it off the middle jump. Exactly what you're going to want to see. Oh! Truck goes over sideways on a barrel roll, and Grave Digger keeps it going. That is your third barrel roll of the night that did not end a run. Now Grave Digger is lining up for the backflip. Lands the backflip sideways with a broken 4-link bar. Grave Digger's gonna get some more air now. Tries to get a bit of a moonwalk. Actually does get a bit of a moonwalk. Now tries to get a bit of a wheelie as well. Some more air, getting a little bit sideways. Get some cross-threading in there, sure, why not? And the truck will end up upside down at the end of the run. What a run for the Grave Digger. That is another great run. Honestly, I would say I'm going to have a really hard time picking the top 4 runs apart from first place. First place is obviously Avenger, but the 4 runs before him, marking 2nd through 5th, I have no idea what runs I'm going to say. Probably the 3 runs I did barrel rolls, and then, I don't know, from there, maybe Earthshaker? Maybe Rage, maybe Megalodon. I have no idea what an event tonight.